Hey there, and welcome. So, you're on the path to becoming a licensed insurance pro. That's fantastic. Today, we're going to tackle the very first big milestone on that journey. We're going to break down exactly what you need to do to clear that first hurdle. Wanting to help people secure their financial future, that's a pretty amazing goal. But here's the thing, trust isn't just given. It has to be earned. And before you can even start to guide a client, you've got to prove you know your stuff, that you understand the whole landscape. In India, that journey always starts with one single mandatory exam. So let's talk about the IC38 exam. Now, don't think of it as some big scary barrier. It's really more like the starting gate. This is your official entry ticket into the world of insurance in India. Its whole purpose is to set a baseline, to make sure every single licensed advisor out there has a solid grasp on the fundamentals. All right, so what are we actually looking at here? What does this starting gate involve? It's pretty straightforward, actually. You've got 70 multiple choice questions, and you have exactly 60 minutes to do them. Do the math, that's less than a minute for each question. And to pass, you just need to get 35 of them right, which is a 50% score. So yeah, it's kind of like a sprint. It's not just about what you know, but how quickly you can bring that information to mind. Okay, let's dig into the really important stuff, the core concepts you absolutely have to know for the exam. But here's the deal. This isn't just about passing a test. These are the bedrock principles that the entire insurance industry is built on. You've got to master these. It's totally non-negotiable. You're going to see this term, utmost good faith, pop up all over the place. And trust me, it's way more than just a fancy phrase. It's the absolute ethical heart of every single insurance contract. So, what does it really mean? What does it demand from you and from your future clients? And here's the key. It's a two-way street. It's not just on the client. The person getting insured has to be honest about all the important stuff. Their health, their lifestyle, all of it. But at the same time, the insurance company has to be totally transparent about what's in the policy. When both sides do that, that's when you get a contract that's actually built on a foundation of trust. Now, here's a concept that trips a lot of people up. You can't just take out an insurance policy on anyone or anything. You have to have what's called an insurable interest. And what that really means is you have to stand to suffer a direct financial loss if the bad thing happens. That's why you can insure your family's main earner, but you can't insure, say, your favorite movie star. This is the single biggest thing that makes insurance, well, insurance, and not just a bet or a lottery ticket. All right, let's keep building on this. As an agent, you've got to think of the different insurance products as tools in your toolkit. Your whole job is knowing which tool is the right one for each client's unique situation. So let's take a look at some of the most common tools you'll be working with. So let's start with the two big ones, the most basic tools in the kit. First up, you have term insurance. This is pure, simple protection. Think of it like a financial safety net for a specific amount of time. If, thankfully, nothing happens during that time, the policy just ends. Simple. But then you have an endowment policy. Now this is different. It's protection, times, and a savings plan rolled into one. It actually builds cash value over time and pays out at the end even if you never make a claim. And of course, the toolkit gets bigger. You've got things like ULIPs, which are a mix of insurance and investments tied to the market. Great for clients who are okay with a bit more risk. Then there are money-back policies. These are interesting. They actually give you payouts at regular intervals during the policy's term. And finally, you have annuities, which are all about creating a steady stream of income for someone after they retire, kind of like a private pension. Now, it's super important to remember that insurance isn't the Wild West. Not at all. It's a really heavily regulated industry, and for a good reason, to protect people, the consumers. So knowing the rulebook, that's not just about cramming for the exam. It's something you'll need for your entire career to make sure you're always doing things the right way, both professionally and legally. So who makes the rules? Meet the referee, the IRDAI. That's the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. They're the ones who set the rules for basically everything, how products are made, how they're sold, how claims get paid out, and their number one job, their main mission, is to look out for the policyholder. Okay, remember this number, 5 years. Why is that so important? Well, that's the window of time a policyholder gets to bring a lapsed policy back to life. I mean, life happens, right? People miss payments. This rule is a huge safety net. It means a little hiccup doesn't have to mean you lose your coverage for good. It's a massive deal for protecting consumers. And here's another critical number for you, 30 days. This one is all about holding companies accountable. When a family files a claim, they're often going through the worst time of their lives. So the moment they submit all the paperwork, a clock starts ticking. The insurance company has just 30 days to get that claim settled. And that's not a guideline, it's a hard rule. It makes sure that money gets to the people who need it when they need it most.
But, what if there's a problem? What if there's a dispute over a claim? Going to court can be a nightmare. It's slow, it's expensive. Well, that's where the insurance ombudsman comes in. For any claim dispute up to 50 lakh rupees, the policyholder can go to them for a totally free and fair resolution. It's a really important system that helps level the playing fields between a regular person and a big company.
So, you pass the exam, you get your license, and that's great. But honestly, that's just the very beginning. Your real career, the one that lasts, is built on something much more important: trust. It all comes down to putting your client's needs first, always, every single time. Let's talk about what that actually looks like. This really breaks it down, doesn't it? On one side, you have ethical practice. That always starts with a needs analysis, where you really sit down and figure out what product is genuinely the best fit for your client. Then, you have the other side, unethical stuff like churning, which is basically tricking a client into dropping an old policy for a new one just so you get another commission. Or rebating, where you illegally give back a piece of your own commission to get the sale. Both of those are absolute no-goes. And this is a really crucial point to get your head around: your legal position. You are, legally speaking, an agent of the insurer. That's not just some job title. It means you have a legal responsibility to act on behalf of the company. Your actions are the company's actions. Your reputation becomes their reputation. That's a big deal. So look, at the end of the day, the IC38 exam is there to test what you know. It's about products, principles, and rules. But real success in this career, it has nothing to do with passing a test. It's measured by the trust you build, one client, one family at a time. So as you're studying, try to think past the multiple choice answers. Ask yourself the bigger question: how are you going to earn that trust?